busted under my boot, echoing through the crumbling building in the middle of a dead town. Morden used to be a nice suburban area from what I could gather about it, with a museum, movie theater, rows of cute, boxy houses, and some schools. Whatever caused it to fold was beyond me, but bones of this place were overgrown, and honestly creepy as fuck. It was a perfect hideaway for a creature of death. And the brush strokes. Barnaby continued to describe the intricate detail of the sensual paintings on the inside of old cups, while I explored the museum. An old banner announcing the new dinosaur exhibit was half peeled away from above the ticket counter, the thick canvas material draped over the dated light fixtures. Water pooled in areas where the roof had long ago given way, soaking the dirt and leaves into a swampy mixture. The sign for the wildlife section was barely hanging on, frozen in mid-fall. Beyond the smell of dead leaves, rainwater, and decaying wood, I could smell the unmistakable stench of body rot. Either something very big was dead somewhere in this relic of learning, or it was a lot of little dead things. My money was on big, dead things. Like people-sized dead things, probably in lots of little pieces. In my ear, Barnes droned on. The delicate positioning of the male body symbolizes. I would have actually listened to that part, but I had to focus. Even with the rainstorm clouding the sun, it was too bright for grunts or messengers to be out this far. The museum was in bad shape, but the roof was still intact for most of the halls, including the domed planetarium that was somehow still standing. They would be somewhere dark and quiet, and their daddy zombie and his jackass thrall wouldn't be far. I gave my chest pocket a pat, taking a long breath. My thrall charm hummed against my skin. A very quiet, usually ignored part of my brain whispered this entire mission was suicidal. I was outnumbered, outgunned, and my magical goodies were running low. The much louder part of me sounded like a familiar, stern, grizzled man with a missing eye and a scar down his face, telling me to stop fucking around. I pressed on. And don't even get me started on the symbolism of the reeds. Well, in a nutshell, it dates back to a time when specific water plants were seen as vessels for life. The incubus in my ear prattled on while I searched for undead monsters. The smell of rotting flesh seemed stronger toward the wildlife exhibit, and I pulled a vial of crushed owl's eye gem, mixed with a watery base, from my pocket, and gave it a shake. I always wondered if these things were actually stone owls with crystal eyes, or if they were just one of those magically infused stones humans hurled around with reckless abandon. Either way, it worked wonders, but stung like a son of a bitch when I added drops into my eyes. It was like blinking raw sand into your eye sockets for a couple of seconds, blessing the torture victim with a boost of low-light vision without the need for pesky flashlights. The downside was that it made natural light headache-inducing and nauseating for a little while, but it was handy when stalking nocturnal predators. I hissed in through my teeth as I blinked the gritty gemstone into my eyes, giving it a moment to stop stinging before testing my sight. The dark shadows swallowing the features of the grimy glass display cases relaxed, allowing more of the world to come into focus. The importance of nipples in ancient cultures is much more complex than it is today. Nipples? I had to ask, jerked out of my concentration. Oh, absolutely. Obviously, you don't remember what I talked about with the breastplates of the pre-classic. Let me recap. The Emperor Augustine started a religion around stimulation around... I stepped into the newly visible darkness just as a low tone in my ear signaled I was getting another call. I switched it over while Barnaby was describing the curvature of a woman's left tit. He was going to be talking about it for a while, since I think it was his favorite one, so I didn't want to interrupt him. Wild contract killing and fish training? Dallas. Even in a disgusting, humid vampire cesspool, Sias's voice made my knees weak. I caught myself against an old informational stand about badgers and tried not to sound extremely hot and bothered. Hi. I have a job.